Good afternoon, Colin here with Techout, and today is the M4 Mac Mini, M4 MacBook Pro, and the M4 iMac release day. I just picked this up from Best Buy. I pre-ordered it, just did an in-store pickup, and very excited to check it out. This is going to be my new desktop setup machine, replacing my M2 Mac Mini. I've been going back and forth between the MacBook Pro, M3 Pro, and the Mac Mini M2. And I was using my laptop exclusively at my desk, just hooked up to a hub. And then I picked up the Mac Mini because I wanted to run a Blue Bubble server for iMessage on Android. And I intended on using just the Mac Mini for that and not using it as an actual desktop. It was just going to be like a server computer. And I ended up hooking it up to my monitors. It works great, so I decided just to use it for my editing and my YouTube watching and web browsing and email checking, all that kind of stuff. And then when this came out with the 16 gigs of RAM, and the M4 and the USB-C on the front and all that kind of stuff, I was like, that would be absolutely perfect to replace the M2 Mac Mini, and the M2 Mac Mini can go back to its original intended purpose of just being a server. So that's what's going to happen. I'm going to unplug that and put this in its place. Only downside of this one is it does not have any USB-A ports, so I am going to have to use a USB-A hub off my other USB-C hub or whatnot to plug in some of my gear, like my Stream Deck, my camera, my microphone, all that kind of stuff, because all that unfortunately is still USB-A. So it is the 16 gig memory, 256 storage, because I keep all my stuff on external SSDs anyway. I don't store any media from recording or editing or anything like that on the computer, so I use very little storage. So there's no point in paying extra for storage on here when I can get a couple SSDs for the same price, and I already have like 4. This Mac is carbon neutral, so that is cool. We're gonna go ahead and pull these pull tabs right here and get this opened and see what it looks like. I've seen videos of it obviously and pictures and stuff like that on the Apple website and YouTube, but I have not seen one in person, so we're going to be looking at it for the first time in person and seeing how tiny it actually is. And based on this box, it is going to be pretty small. And there we go, right off the bat, kind of sticks out the top, and that is very small. I wasn't expecting. It's almost like a thicker Apple TV almost. It's about the same, you know, front to back, side to side, length and width, I guess. And then maybe an Apple TV and a half thick. Here's my Google Pixel for comparison, which is about the same size as an iPhone. I just don't have my iPhone with me right now. And as you can see, it is shorter than the Pixel. It's 5x5. So there's the computer. We're going to put this aside real quick, move the top of the box here. And obviously it's Apple, so we're not going to get much more else in the box. But we do have the power cable, and it is a braided power cable this time. The M2 Mac Mini was not a braided cable. And then we have the paperwork right here, just Mac Mini warranty and stuff, information right here. And unfortunately, there are no more Apple stickers included in the box. If you do pick up a Mac from an Apple store, you can request an Apple sticker or two, I guess. But they do not include them in the box by default anymore. Which is kind of unfortunate for people that don't have an Apple store close by or order online or, you know, go to Best Buy or something like that. But it is what it is. That's weird. Let's see. Go ahead and open up this power cord. This power cord looks weird. There's no, I'll show you in a second when I get it out. There's no holes on it. It's just 2 flat prongs, and it looks really weird because I'm so used to there being holes on these. Huh, okay. But it is a braided cable. Apple's pretty much going to braided everything for cables. The phones, the USB-C cables that come with the phone, the power cables, all that kind of stuff, all braided now, which is very nice. They tend to not tangle as easy, and they last a little bit longer. Not really worried about that on a power cable for the desktop, but you know, the portable devices, your MacBook Pro, iPhone, stuff like that, cables that are always getting plugged and unplugged, they seem to last a little bit longer. And there we go, take that off. I'm interested to see when the self-repair program comes out how you access the inside of this, because there's no The bottom doesn't spin off like the other one, and I don't know how you would open this. Open the enclosure. So waiting to see the repair manual for this to see if it is going to be on the self-repair. I'm assuming it probably would be because everything else has been. But I don't see any way to access the inside. Unless... it feels like... No, I don't think this separates. I don't know, we'll have to check the manual out when it comes out, but power button on the bottom, people are complaining about that, or, whatever. You can't get your finger under it when it's sitting down, you do have to lift up on it. I never turn my Mac Mini off. Maybe I'll restart it occasionally or have to, turn it back on after a power outage, which is rare. But the power button is on the bottom, so you do have to lift up, but it's something that I use very infrequently, so I don't mind it being there. On the back, we have the power. We have the 1 gigabit Ethernet, which you can opt for 10 gig for an extra $100. We have a regular full-size HDMI, and then the 3 ports back here are are Thunderbolt 4. If you get the M4 Pro, these are Thunderbolt 5. And then on the front, we have 2 USB-C. I think they're USB 3 speeds. And this is, I thought on the pictures that this was another IR receiver like back in the day. And I was like, oh, that's kind of weird they brought that back. But no, it's a headphone jack. You just can't tell there's depth really in it. But there is, and it's a headphone jack. It's not a IR receiver or anything like that. So that is the M4 Mac Mini. I'm going to be doing a setup video here shortly. This is just going to be an unboxing, but I'm going to clean some things up on the setup and stuff like that. But this video will be edited on the Mac Mini, so by the time you see this video, I will be also doing that setup video, and it will be coming out shortly after. So that's the M4 Mac Mini. I'm Colin with Techout. Don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe. And as always, have a great day.